I'm Captain Richard Quintela, Support Services Division, and we're going to do a quick overview of the pump skid Gator. As you can see, unit assigned to this is a 23597. Biggest difference between this and most of our other Gators is that this one is diesel. You got to be paying attention to it because it does have a gas engine for the pump. And then I'll show you now that we do have True Fuel, which is a stabilized wreck fuel used for our small engines. And we'll usually have a spare tank on there for that. All right, so when it comes to driving this thing's pretty straightforward. You got your key, you got to put your foot on the brake. That'll allow you to start it up. Unlike some of the other Gators, this one actually has a park setting, which is all the way up with the shifter all the way up. Do not leave it in neutral because there is no parking brake on this. Your parking brake gets engaged when you put it in park. All right. Pretty self-explanatory. You have reverse, neutral, high, which is what you're going to be running in for the most part, and then a low gear, which is if you're in the sand or whatever the case may be. You got a button that shifts you from two-wheel drive into four-wheel drive. This is a heavier Gator than what we're used to operating on. So if you're in the sand, chances are you're going to have to be in four-wheel drive because it will get stuck pretty easily. Other than that, you have your headlights, your hazard lights, and then when it comes to emergency lights, it's going to be up on top. You got two switches, one for your lights, one for your sirens, and then an actual windshield wiper switch. The keys for most of our John Deere Gators are the same. Please make sure the key remains in the ignition. The only time we would want you to remove it is when it's on a detail and you're leaving it unattended. But for the most part, if it's secured in the back of the station, do not take the keys anywhere. Leave the key with the Gator. So here's the four-stroke engine that powers our pump. Very similar, almost identical to our gas-powered fans. Make sure your switch is on. Your fuel is open. Choke it. This is your throttle. It could be in the middle. And then you go ahead and full start. Once you get it started, take the choke off, and she's ready. She's running.
Someone should remain at the pump during operation to ensure that the pump is turned off when water flow is not flowing. This is necessary to prevent it from overheating. Use the sight glass to make sure your tank is full. There are several valves here, but the only two that have to be open, which means that they're in line, is your reel discharge valve and your tank to pump valve. The tank to pump can be identified because it's the lowest valve since the water is gravity fed into the pump. Pull out the reel locking pin to deploy the hose. Once you have deployed the length needed, engage the locking pin to prevent the hose from becoming completely unspooled. Once water is called for, begin to increase the throttle by pushing the lever to the left. Remember that the tank only holds 70 gallons, so be conservative when operating the nozzle. Your ideal operating pressure is between 50 to 80 psi. After that, you actually start reducing your flow. The pump has a recirculation valve that can be used if water flow is only going to be stopped temporarily. Once the operation has ended, lower the throttle and turn off the engine. Do not forget to top off the tank by removing the cap on top of the tank and using a garden hose or an 1 3/4 line to top it off. All right, to recap, remember diesel fuel only for your Gator, ethanol-free gas for the pump. Ensure your hose reel valve and the tank to pump are fully open to operate. Never leave the pump unattended and make sure that water is always flowing when the engine is on. If you have any questions, please reach out to support services.